this Neff Giwa story is going to be, I don't know, quite to the hype of maybe Nick Harbor his freshman year, but it kind of has given me those vibes because remember how many questions about Harbor as that year progressed. And, a little bit different when you're talking about a 5-star prospect in Harbor. But even then, it was, hey, look, this guy is a phenomenal athlete, but he's never played wide receiver before. Now, he had played football, and you're not talking about moving into a new country, putting on pads and helmets for the first time, all these different things. It's not exactly the same. But at any other point, would Beamer be getting asked in multiple press conferences about a offensive lineman who had not played football before? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And I think a guy who frankly just does not project to be a starter or a backup for you at tackle this year, you wouldn't be getting multiple questions about it every single time you speak if you're Beamer. But because it is such a unique story, because he is such a great athlete, then it is a thing now. And so people are kind of invested in that a little bit to see what that mean. What does it mean for a guy to come over here as a freak athlete, has never played American football, and then say it's almost like a reality show. Can he find a way to impact the team? And, I think we get a little glimpse today. It backed up some of the stuff that people have already read from us on Gamecock Central. And that was that, hey, look, this dude is doing everything in his power to be able to catch up, so to speak. And the staff, little bit of a nod from Beamer, a little hint from Beamer there today in saying, like, look, we need to find a way to use this guy's skill set, even if that doesn't mean plugging him in there and asking him to go play offensive tackle in the SEC his first year of playing football.
Yeah, and that's something that's been brought up a lot. I know JC over at the Big Spurs talked about, hey, is this a guy that you'd find, special teams, that's your path, right? We talk about that so much. Younger players who maybe won't have the opportunity to carve out a big role because they're inexperienced or they're learning a new position or they've got guys ahead of them, right? Where can you make an impact? Special teams, and with as much time as South Carolina spends on special teams, you don't want to say there's no learning curve, right? For a guy like Neff Giwa, everything he's doing right now is a learning curve. It's brand new to him. Every day in practice, he's seeing something for the first time. The things that they've done before, Randy Clement's offensive line drills, there are some things that they do every day in practice, and so he'll get more and more familiar with it. But when you look at him, this isn't just this is a safety, who's only played a couple years of football, or this is even like a Justin Okoronkwo, Wes. Think about him heading into Bama. He had played some organized football at the club level in Germany, but he had a big learning curve to learn how to play football in the SEC. The terminology, I talked to him, there's a bit of a language gap there where he was still learning like how to communicate effectively in English. It's different because when you think about Neff, this is a guy who's going to be an offensive lineman by trade, and that's the position he's working at. That's the position he's learning. But he has such a unique potential skill set because he is so big, because he is so athletic. And so what can you find for him to do if he can do it effectively? And, I am intrigued by, are there some possibilities to put him out there on special teams? A little bit more limited in terms of what you're going to face down by down. If it's, hey, go, just as an example, not saying this will happen, go out there and get on field goal block, not as big of a learning curve there. It's a lot different than, hey, we're putting you out there on edge, go block a first round pick that you're going to see most weeks in the SEC. So that might be a path for him. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.